Hello, welcome to the Sustainomics. I have here with me Preeti Patil Kulkarni, Global HRD for Schneider Electric. Thank you for your time with us today.
Pleasure is all mine.
Schneider Electric is globally recognized for its sustainability leadership, right? So, how does your HR strategy reinforce that mission internally within the firm?
Great question. Yes, Schneider Electric is definitely the topmost sustainable organization, and it is not just like that, it is totally by design.
Yeah.
At the organization level, at every department, and HR is equally the catalyst for it. It's just not a corporate goal for us, it is basically a shared mission, you can call it as, and it's embedded in everything what we do. So start with your entire talent life cycle, or may it be creating green teams, volunteering back to contribute to the society. We have Schneider Foundations who does that, and we also embed that in our learning system through talking about what sustainability is all about and how in small little things we can contribute. Like some time back I did not know what carbon footprint is all about, right? And now it has been taught to us time and again by emphasizing on why it is so important to talk about it in every small little thing we do. Leaders are the ones who are promoting it a lot within the organization, and HR, as I said, is a catalyst to it. So it's embedded in our performance management systems, it is embedded in the goals we do, it is also embedded into the performance linked incentives what we have. So that means it becomes imperative that every one of us have a shared responsibility to ensure that sustainability is kind of running into our blood.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about this is that it will spread towards their homes as well, right? Because once you start
It starts from home.
yeah,
Yes.
and then it just spreads, and you sort of lead by example, which makes a big difference, right?
Yeah,
Ultimately.
so I can just share an example of the home itself. Like we were studying, and my son was like, "Oh, I don't think so. We need prints of any of the
Yeah.
worksheets. I think we can directly do it on the system." So it's again one of the way to contribute back, saying that okay, we will not print it and not make it a
Definitely.
hard copy. And similarly, at organization, it's the same way. You're
Yeah.
so right.
Makes such a difference, right? What have been your biggest challenges when building a purpose-driven global workforce at Schneider?
Okay, let's emphasize on the word purpose driven, right?
Yeah.
It's always what's in it for me, for the
Actually, yeah.
employees. So, as a global HR leader, for me, it's about looking at the organization from a very diverse perspective. So, global workforce comes with multiple challenges. It's very interesting, it's very important that we understand the diverse work groups, not only from a generation, gender, but geographical standpoint as well. And how do we keep them together? When you say purpose driven, there has to be empowerment, seamless communication to ensure that they understand what, as a group, as a global workforce, we are trying to achieve at the
And culturally
global.
as well, there must be vast differences, right?
It's a lot of difference. But to be very frank, I think if we promote that as a culture, culture is one. So even though we are diverse in terms of geography and the cultures, but a corporate culture, what you call
Because
it,
you have one same aim, ultimately,
exactly.
right?
End of the day, it's the same objective of
Yeah.
accomplishing the goals which you have created as shared goals for yourself.
Right.
It really makes it not easy, I would say, but driving towards that one purpose of what keeps you going within the organization.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time. It's been so lovely talking to you.
Absolutely. As I said, pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Sustainomics. We have with us Ms. Sangeeta Shetty, the AVP, People and Culture, Ascendion. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So we would like to gather insights from you in terms of what sort of leadership competencies do you think we need to build upon to cater to the multi-generational workforce?
Over the years, the competencies have changed. What we would want our leaders to innate. We have realized, being in the industry for more than 2 decades, there is a need for us to focus on the middle layer, because for each employee in the organization, they see the organization through the manager. We've heard about this. People don't leave organizations, but they leave the manager. While the overall ecosystem exists, day in, day out, they operate with the manager. Therefore, there is a need for us to focus on competencies which we feel for the people leaders specifically to develop. And with the dynamics after COVID, people have been succumbed with different instances. There is the work, professional and personal life is slightly blurred. There is a little more need for people leaders to be, connecting with the people on the ground. Our trainings in the earlier world or some years back would have been focusing on how to do decision making, how to give feedback. Now I look at them as little more mechanical.
Right.
There is a need for us to help our people leaders realize the need to focus on, we call it hard skills, hard skills, not the hard or the soft skills.
Right.
Yeah. Why we do so is, in my understanding, some of these tools are very effective to get the best from the people. And we spoke about multi-generational workforce, something that suits to somebody who has been 10 years in the industry versus somebody who is 1 year. What works for both the groups will be these hard skills.
Right.
And when we say hard skills, are those basic rituals and your approach towards looking at things. We may have heard it enough times, but when you realize the importance, it is when it really clicks. Things like appreciating. We have undermined the power of appreciation. A simple pause when you speak and when a person is speaking, that gives a sense of acknowledgement and helps the people. There are enough experiences by using these tools, how it has worked well. And in Ascendion, we do that focusing on people leaders. The concept is called Evolve. Evolve means we have created a curriculum that focuses on these hard skills. There are some rituals, we make them practice, like practice pause for this week and appreciation. And that is called Evolve. Evolve is like, I don't know it all, you don't know it all, I'm the manager, but let's evolve together. Let's co-create solutions to the problems, which happens by listening to you carefully or listening on both sides, seeing what is the intent of the person, not what is being exhibited outside.
Especially sometimes when you see the challenge as, being now with the multi-generational workforces, I know it all attitude.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that?
Yeah. So I think all they are requiring is acknowledgement. Maybe the first step is acknowledge and then really try to understand what's happening with the person. With the young force, I think one of the challenges also, they are not able to express. They expect people on the other side. They'll just react. So what we say, positive intention. So as a manager, I would need to really listen to that. And when you listen or pause, when you exercise this, and you're not only listening to the words, but many aspects of that individual. And when you see that carefully, you really know what is the unsaid. The unsaid is, in instances behind the scene, people may have not validated the ideas. And there could have been a pattern that this individual has. So the job here is to hear the unsaid and then react to it and acknowledge that, okay, I think you have not seen good experiences of submitting your ideas. So then that happens, then that breakthrough happens and the connection happens. So both of us intent is the same, how to come to a common point that we can do with this hard skills.
Wonderful, ma'am. I mean, this just sets me to think now, how do you really communicate with, two different employees, one who comes with 10 years experience or much more and one who has just probably entered the world of workforce. So I think building a very, culture-rich, an inclusive and a diverse workforce that we're all in What strategies or initiatives do you think organizations can reflect in building an inclusive, workforce? A diverse and an inclusive workforce.
So, in the definition of diversity and inclusivity, I think it's widened. It's not only limited to gender.
Yes.
It's the the young folks versus the experienced. It is the remote and the
Right.
one coming to office.
Right.
With that widened definition of inclusivity and diversity, some of these, which is uniform that I just mentioned,
Yes.
but the same medicine does not apply to all. Probably there is a bunch of people, and when I talk about remote and hybrid, the tools could be different.
Right.
Maybe I need to have a one-to-one conversation. People feel left out on the other side. Lots happening on there. So our focus with this, ensuring largely has been in the young generation, which we call as ELTs, freshers, ensuring that they are engaged well, for them drawing and keeping them engaged through interventions constantly. When we talk about the women population, which could be across the level, there are some focused interventions like Career Cafe, which helps them open up with and discuss, because we all know for a woman, the kind of a career trajectory stops because of all the life cycle changes. So tapping that at the right time, and at the same time we do Ascend Her network. Ascend is what my company is, Ascend on.
Right.
So Ascend Her, helping her ascend, creating those work groups where the problems and challenges are same for her or any group to, that whole woman group to openly discuss. When they see that somebody who has passed through that, so they realize it's not me alone, and
Right.
that by itself does a lot of comfort. And we all know women don't need solutions, they just need somebody to hear.
Right.
So having that space of Ascend Her and Girl Talk, so these are some things which all
can
add up
build.
to help us manage this inclusive workforce that is required for us to get to build our organization to the state we want.
Thank you, Ms. Sangeeta. I think that was truly reflective for all of us to start very critically reflecting and examining. Now, how do we really communicate with this Gen Z or Gen Alpha coming in there?
Use the hard skills.
Yeah, so I think that really comes down to the hard skills. So thank you, and it was wonderful to have you, Ms. Sangeeta.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure
Thank
to have
you.
you. Yeah.
Same here.